And we're live! Woo! Welcome along, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. For those that don't know me, let me introduce myself. Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey. I'm one of the presenters right here on Adorama TV. You are watching this live, unless you're watching the recording. If you're watching the recording, I recommend skipping the first few minutes and then picking it up from there. If you're watching this live, this is a Halloween special live stream. Interactive, it really is live. You can comment, you can ask me questions. We've got an hour of fun ahead of us. So I don't think I'm on my own in here. I've got a few people in the room. I know it looks like I'm on my own, but I've got a couple of people in the room. So let's say hello to the awesome, well, you can't say hello to Freya, but Freya is on the Super Switcher. Sam is on the comments. Do you want to say hello, Sam?
Ooh, that's my spooky. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? We've got loads of people watching all over the place. And I hope you're ready to be scared.
I'm scared. I'm
you scared already?
Genuinely scared.
Genuinely
yes.
scared.
I'm always scared when we go live.
It's going to be great. I mean, it's going to be scary.
It's going to be scary. It's going to be great. Both of us are slightly recovering from colds, so if I start coughing in the middle, I apologise because I can feel I'm trying to fight it. And poor old Sam, be nice to Sam. She's having a rough day.
Be nice to me.
Yeah.
Mark's here. Mark Wallace
hey,
is
Mark
in
Wallace
the house. Mary Arena's in the house.
Amazing.
And Seth, obviously.
That's it, 3 people. That's
just the 3.
Just the 3 of them.
Yeah, well, that's fun. It's great.
Okay, so what are we going to do? So I've got, in the next 55 minutes or so, 3 different areas to work in my small home studio. I've got this rather nice sort of textured, well, it's not textured, patterned Manfrotto background. I've got a black background and then something hidden. You can't quite see it, it's out of shot, but something hidden just behind the curtains over here, but we'll get to that as we go along. I want to kind of show you some simple lighting ideas, things that we can do that have a darker, moody feel. There is a Halloween theme because we're close to Halloween, but these are ideas that you can use at any time of the year in many respects. That's kind of what we want to try and achieve. But to do this, I can't do this on my own because it would be pretty rubbish. So I have a fantastic model. I got the awesome Charlotte. Come on in, Charlotte. Say hello to the internet. Okay, so welcome back, Charlotte. Good to see you. We need to change a couple of things before I take any photos. I've just remembered the usual things I forget to do, which is to turn that off and to turn this on and then press that button and hope it all works. Whilst I'm pressing buttons and doing things, if you haven't already done so, click the like button. That's really useful for us. We appreciate that. And if you're not subscribed to Adorama TV, what are you doing? Subscribe to Adorama TV. That would be good too. Okay, so I'm going to start with some fairly safe lighting, then we're going to move it to a little bit more edgy and Halloween-esque over the next few minutes. Charlotte, do you want to take a good step forward for me? Thank you very much. Lovely. So I've got Charlotte fairly close to a light. Lighting for this, I'm using the Flashpoint lights throughout this, and this is the Flashpoint Explore 300 Pro, because I'm a pro. It's a pro light. And then I've just got it in a standard 2x3 softbox. You'll find kit description for most of this kit in the video description below. Okay, let's just get a picture on the screen just to get us going. Charlotte, I'm just going to pop this close to your chin.
I was just going to say, it's a lot of love for Charlotte. Alan says, love Charlotte, super to work with. Alan was on one of our workshops a couple of years ago when we did a spooky workshop. Mary Irene said, hello, Charlotte.
Hello.
We do have a microphone for Charlotte, so should the need arise, you can actually ask Charlotte some questions.
Got any questions for Charlotte? Charlotte is a model and she's also a makeup artist, and she's amazing at both.
Which is why I wanted to get a picture on the screen really quick, because what you can't see on the wide shot is what I'm going to show you now on the close-up picture. Okay, Charlotte, I'm just going to take a quick little test photo just to see what we get. Okay, I'm just going to reset my camera. Don't show that one, Freya. Because it's live. Here we go, let's try that again. Okay, that'll do for me. So pop that on the screen. So this is Charlotte. This is her makeup. She is a makeup artist, a fantastic makeup artist. And we asked her to do some sort of Halloween-esque makeup. She's got some wonderful contact lenses in. We've got some great makeup going on there. This is not the right lighting for Halloween, but I wanted to get a safe shot in the bank first of all. So safe shot done. This whole experience is about making things dark and moody. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by getting my light and putting it behind Charlotte like this, and then spinning it around, trying not to hit Charlotte in the process. There we go. Something like that. And Charlotte, can you take a little step forward? So I'm putting Charlotte towards the front end of the softbox. So most of the softbox is back here, behind Charlotte, which is not somewhere you would perhaps normally put a light, but what I want is a really dark, moody experience. And the easiest way to do that is create shadows, and the easiest way to do that is have light like this, where it's fairly angular, about the same exposure, it hasn't really moved. Okay, so same basic photo again. Here we go, Charlotte. But see if you can spot the difference, how much moodier this immediately feels. So straight away we feel like we're getting something a lot more moody and dramatic and dark and dingy, which is kind of the idea with this. Now I've slightly run out of room here because my small home studio is never big enough, but I'm just feathering the light just slightly away like that. Okay, Charlotte, here we go. And by feathering the light slightly away from the background, I can make that background go really dark. I'll jump back one picture and you'll be able to see. Okay, that's unfeathered, and that's just feathered. And you can see how that affects the background, but keeps it really moody. Quite like that. Somewhere in the middle, though, I think. Okay, Charlotte, look towards the little cluster of lights over here. So I'm just asking Charlotte just to look slightly to the side, just to try and get something a little bit more kind of moody. That's better. Light in both eyes. And because she's got these white contact lenses in, they really glow. Let's move my cursor out the way. And that looks really nice. I like that. That's not bad at all. So if you're looking for a really safe, easy way to do dramatic lighting, try and create as much shadow as you possibly can, and then work with that. Because weirdly, that works very well for Halloween type lighting, for that sort of spooky, moody, atmospheric lighting. Bless you.
Sorry.
That's right. Yes, question, Sam.
So Tim asked, does the Gavin and crew, that's us, ever travel to the US and do shoots or workshops?
We have been to the US. It's been rather hard to go to the US the last few years for various reasons. Can't remember what they are off the top of my head now. Yeah, it's something we have done before. We've been out and done some Adorama workshops out there, and been out and done the odd trade show or two. Haven't got anything in the diary, but hey, you never know. 2023, maybe? Maybe. Okay, so let's move the lighting around a little bit. So normally, we put lighting above our subject, coming down onto them. That's kind of how we normally do lighting. But Halloween is one of those very, very few rare occasions where you can do this. Oh, sorry, Charlotte. Not hit your model with the softbox.
Frighten your model.
As Daniel always says, use the softbox because it's soft if you're going to hit them. That's a great line. Yeah. But you can put the light below. So light coming up from below is where we're going to go. Yeah, go for it. That's fine.
The question is from a guy called Seth. He said,
Seth.
Gavin, does your shirt glow in the dark?
It does, but if we turn the lights off, we probably won't see anything for the rest. It does glow in the dark. Yes, I'm fully Halloweened up. Thank you, Seth. Yes. You got to, haven't you? It's the one time a year I get to wear this T-shirt. That's it. It goes back in the cupboard for the rest of the year, never to be worn again. Okay, so light from below. Although I'm lighting from below, I'm not going to change the way I work. I'm still going to get my flash meter. I'm still going to pop this near your chin, Charlotte. Here we go. And I'm still going to try and meter this for F8. Hey, bingo. So normally light comes from above because that's what happens naturally. Light comes from above. But this is the supernatural. This is not natural light. We're trying to create something a lot more kind of weird. And light from below will definitely do that. Okay, so we end up with this kind of very weird lighting experience, which is nice. It's spooky. It's not something you would do other than this time of year. It's kind of, yeah, alternative, really good. I should say, remember, there's a picture-in-picture as well for you. Yeah, there you go, look at that.
Someone's come up with a really good suggestions. Permatis says, everyone like the stream, 200 likes for a fog machine. Yay! Yeah. Keep the lights coming in.
Who would do a fog machine? A smoke machine is an option. I mean, we might do some smoke. I'm not going to promise. I would suggest checking the video description and seeing if it's in there. That's normally a fairly good clue. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get a couple of lights and try and make this a bit more dramatic. So we have that below lighting. That's fine, but it needs something more. So I'm going to get a couple more lights and bring a couple of lights in from the side. Keep the questions coming, Sam. That's good. Go for it.
So, Al Wicati asked, would a circular softbox work just as well as a rectangular one?
That's a great question. Yes, absolutely. You really don't need a specific shape of softbox for this. There is a slight catch light. Can we go back to my laptop, Frey? I think your contact lenses are so good that I can't actually see the catch light. But there is a very slight catch light shape in here. Charlotte's white contact lenses are really disguising it quite nicely. That would really be the only difference, would be the shape of the catch light, which I know a lot of photographers get very passionate about. I don't. I'm quite sort of ambivalent about them. Okay, so what I've done is I've made a little sort of sandwich of lights, one either side of Charlotte. I'm going to turn the front light off because when you start adding multiple lights, it gets complicated very quickly. But I'm going to check what these lights are producing. I'm photographing f8 for those that want to know my settings. They are ISO 200, the native ISO for my Olympus camera, or OM system camera I should call it. I'm at 250th of a second, which is the flash sync speed for my OM camera. That's the wrong one, that's why it's not changing. And I'm at f8 as my aperture. Why f8? Well, it's the middle of the road. When in doubt, straight down the middle. And f8, that's brilliant. We'll pop that one there so I can immediately forget where I've put it. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look and see what these two lights do. Here we go, Charlotte. So these two lights give us a very dramatic, very strange effect. If you can just pull your hair back behind your shoulders for a second. That's great. Okay. Here we go. So just those on their own, I mean, that's pretty evil, which is the idea. Nothing personal, Charlotte. It's just the idea, the theme of the session. It's not quite what I'm after. They're a little bit too sort of side on. They're small lights, but they still spread, and there's too much light on the front of Charlotte's face. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to move the lights so they're slightly behind, slightly coming in from the edges. So they are a little bit more behind Charlotte. I've got a couple of grids on these lights as well, just to try and give me some control and direction so they don't spill onto the background too much. Okay, here we go. And see if you can spot the difference on that one. See how that's changed it? So that's given us that edge lighting, but we have lost the lighting in the front of Charlotte's face, but we know we've got that with the underlit first light, the key light that I put in. So let's bring that in as well. Okay, Charlotte, last test shot. Hopefully this should be about right. So that's all three lights working together. The edge light's putting light on her shoulder and a little bit of separation from the background. The front light, I think, is a bit bright. I'm going to turn it down. Did I say that was the last test shot? Yeah. Photographers never ever tell the truth when they say one more shot, just one more. So I've turned that key light down, the front light down, and I'm going to turn it down until it feels right. I know I metered it so it looked right, but I want it to feel right. There we go. That feels a lot more moody. That's completely wrong. That is the wrong lighting. There is no way that that is the correct lighting on any other occasion but this. That's the right lighting because that's what I want, that kind of really moody look. Go for it, Sam.
So Kenneth asks, what computer does Gavin use for theatre? So I'm guessing you mean for the lives?
For the live streaming, we've got a big desktop PC that's running the live stream, and for the tethering, I've got what used to be called, I can't remember what they were called, oops. It's a Dynabook now, but they used to be called something else before they became Dynabook. Okay, let's just make sure my camera's still working. Here we go. So I've just moved the lights ever so slightly. Oh, I've just moved them onto the background ever so slightly. I want to lift the whole exposure up a little bit, but not lose that background. Oh, that's so close to being what I want. So close.
Got another question as well.
I'm going to keep taking pictures far away with the questions.
So Joe asked, beside dark and moody shoot in general, did you two narrow down the idea for the look of the model you wanted, and how did you show or tell her your idea? Actually, shall I answer?
That's you, that's not me. Yeah, that's definitely all you.
Well, we knew we were doing a live, and it was around Halloween time. And then actually I booked Charlotte first because she's good at the Halloween stuff. It's really her sort of thing, so I was really excited about that. And then I said, well, we'll have a think about it. And then I thought, oh, a fortune teller and a witch kind of combined. So I sent some mood boards over, she sent some outfit bits, backs and forwards, and it's really fun. I really like that part of it. So it's a collaboration of ideas, I would say. So I hope that answers it.
Okay, I'm literally moving the lights just a fraction of a degree just to really fine-tune the background. But I think I'm kind of there. So there's one more thing I'm going to do to make this feel extra specially spooky. Well, yeah, I suppose there's two more things. The first one is I'm going to climb up here and get Charlotte to look down, but bring her eyes up. That's the way. And when we do that, we get a whole different experience. Okay, so again, a camera angle and a posing position that you wouldn't normally do any other time but Halloween, but that kind of chin down, eyes up look looks fantastic. And I think I'm going to pop this into a shallower depth of field. So I'm just going to whip that standard lens off, put my 1.2 lens on,
So Mark
and turn this into high-speed sync.
asked, are there grids on the side lights?
There are, yes. There are a couple of small grids, which is giving me some control, and quite a lot of control over the background lighting effect. Without those, it would spill everywhere. Okay, quick little test photo. So this should be a shallower depth of field. Just need to get my exposure right. High-speed sync. Sadly, I don't have a flash meter that can do high-speed sync metering, so I have to do it by eye. There you go, that's better. That just throws that background more out of focus. I like that. Okay, let's take a few photos like this. Okay, Charlotte, here we go. I'm just going to open up a little bit. There we go. I want to see those fingernails that you spent so long. There we go, yeah. I'm relying on the face and eye detect to get the focusing right on this because I'm too old to actually nail focus manually. That's it. Keep your chin down, looking up. Fantastic. Great. And there's one more thing I could do, because I've put some post-processing in here normally. I can't post-process here, but I can post-process in camera. So I'm going to throw the white balance towards a little bit of a greeny blue feel. See if you can spot the difference. See how that changed it? So that's in-camera white balance shift.
So I just had a question
from
Freddie saying, would you try colour gels in a shoot like this?
Excuse me, Freddie. I would definitely try coloured gels. I would definitely try some smoke, but we only have an hour, so we're kind of pretty much there. Okay, so let's do a little bit of turning of the shoulders, Charlotte. Let's bring some kind of evil modelling in. Okay, that's great. And in post, I would definitely boost the contrast a little bit more. It's the one thing I can't really do in camera. Okay, one last one. Boom. Fantastic. So that works really nicely. I like that. We have the light on Charlotte's shoulders in here. Let's see if we go back a couple to find one where I actually nailed the focus a little bit better. No, I did nail the focus. Doubting my own ability. I like that. So I would definitely pop a bit more contrast into those. Although on my screen, actually, it looks pretty good. Oh, it's one of those ones you can spend ages playing with around in post-processing. But yeah, that came out better than I thought it was going to. Fantastic. Okay, good. Are we good? Got any questions? We're okay. We're running to time, amazingly. Sam said, no, there's too much. He said, there's way too much. You're never going to fit it in an hour. Of course he will. Absolutely fine. So let's move some of these lights around. Charlotte, do you want to just sort of step out so I don't actually hit you with any lights? That would be not a good thing. Fantastic. If you're just joining us, welcome along to the Adorama live stream. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. We are doing dark, moody, and mysterious lighting. That's kind of the idea. And we've created something that was kind of dramatic. It looked really good. It was a nice studio-based portrait, but we're going to try and create something that feels a bit more like we're outside rather than in a studio. It's not going to be an outside. You can't beat physically being outside for an outside experience, but it'll give us the look. That's the idea. So I need to go and get a few bits and pieces. Come back on the screen. There we go. Get rid of the softbox. Softboxes and Halloween. No, I suppose they have a place, but, you know, I think I'd like something a bit more moody. So we're going to go for some harder light and use a modifier that is a little bit different. Okay, so...
Actually, Bruce had said what would happen if you use a harder light to make deeper shadows. So.
Yeah, Bruce, try it, absolutely. You get a different effect. We're going to sort of build to that as we go along, so... Okay, so I've got a light there. It's quite safe, but for safety reasons, I will get my sandbag and I will put it on the tallest leg and I'll give it a good kick just to make sure it's swinging freely. As always with any of these shots, any of these setups, if you're sandbagging a light and your sandbag is touching the floor, your sandbag is doing nothing. Make sure it actually moves around. Okay, that's pretty good. And we're going to put the light facing straight up in the air, just like that. So that's that. Then I need a light modifier, and I've got which camera am I on this one? I've got a special light modifier. Hold on. When we moved house last year, I was sorting out my my prop box, and I found this. I was like, I remember this. Had this years ago. So it is an IKEA lantern that. Sorry. IKEA. It's a lantern from that famous Swedish shop, and I've kind of modified it a bit. I've put some opaque, I think it's tracing paper basically, on one side. I've put some silver foil on the other. I can't remember why I did that. I probably had a good reason at the time. And I've covered over the holes, most of them, to try and give the light some direction. And this is going to be the light modifier. And the fact that I've cut the big hole at the bottom with some little holes inside is going to allow the light to come through. Yeah, far away, Sam.
So Adorama have put a link on...
What, to IKEA?
No.
Wow.
For $50 off. So the link is in with the comments. So they're offering it, with the code Gavin Live. So go and check out.
I will be spending that after the live then. That's great. Thank you very much. I mean, I guess that's just for me. I can spend that in a heartbeat. Okay. Right, so that's going to rest on top of there. By absolute fluke of luck, it sits perfectly on the Flashpoint Explore, get it right, 300 Pro. It's just like the perfect made-to-measure fit. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just pop it on there like that. Job done. So that's going to be the light source, and we've got a black background for this one, which is going to be a little bit like an outdoor location, because if you've ever done any flash on location after dark, then you'll know that everything basically goes black if it isn't lit by the flash. And in this case, Charlotte is going to be in close holding this with her other hand like that. So she's going to be very close. So this would be exactly the same if I was doing it outside as if I was doing it inside. No particular difference to the lighting. Charlotte, are you okay? Do you want to come in? Okay. So you're going to go stand there. I'm just going to unwrap this cable from around you first of all. Excuse me, just... My Tether Tools cable is wonderful, but yeah, I do tie myself in knots with it. Okay, so that is on its own separate group. I will turn off all the other flashes because I will blind myself if I don't do that. And I'm going to switch back to standard flash, not high-speed sync. I'm going to reset everything before I start. So back to f8, my working aperture for today, 250th of a second, my flash sync speed, ISO 200. We haven't done this picture. We should do this picture because we always do this on a live. No flash at all. Okay, Charlotte, smile. No, don't. Okay, here we go. This is an important picture. No flash, no picture. So at those camera settings, I've removed the ambient light. There's nothing to see, literally. Just put it back on before people think the whole system has crashed. So no flash, no picture. A very important picture to take, usually at the start of your photo session. Okay, let's turn the flash on. I could get my flash meter and try this, but I'm going to do it by trial and error. I genuinely don't know what the right exposure is. Charlotte's going to be quite close, but it's got to go through the little tiny holes before it reaches Charlotte. So let's try, when in doubt, start at 1/16th power. Great place to start, middle of the power range. Okay, Charlotte, do you want to just sort of hold that? Yeah, lovely, there we go. Which camera is going to be best? Oh, that one. Yeah, that works well. Freya is on the case. Oh, I'm going to change over my lens because I've got a 45mm and I don't need a 45mm. Hang on. Don't let it drop, Charlotte. Keep hold of it. It's not actually attached. It's... Okay, here we go. Oh, just no flash, no picture because actually I'm not quite sure. Why didn't that flash? I'm just going to press this little button here, Charlotte, just a second. Yeah, that one there. That might make a difference.
Hey, at least it wasn't 7 foot in the air this time.
I know. How many live streams have we done where I've actually remembered to turn the flash on before we started? Honestly, you'd think I'm doing it on purpose. I'm genuinely not. Okay, Charlotte, here we go. So at 1/16th power at f8, I might need to modify that. We're getting that. So we're getting a little bit of light in there. Actually, I'm not sure that is 1/16th. I'm just going to double check. Yep, it is. Okay, so that's 1/16th. Yeah, because I hadn't changed the power setting and I switched the camera on. It was wherever it was left from last time. So that's okay. We need a bit more light coming out. Let's try maybe 1/4 power. Okay, Charlotte, here we go. We're getting pretty good. Okay, that's not too bad. There's a few things I want to change. The first thing is I think we want to get you in a coat because you're going to be outside. So I've got a coat for you somewhere. I say I've got a coat for you. Sam's got a coat for you. There you go.
Actually, someone did ask about the outfits earlier. Let's have a look. Michael asked, where do you find outfits models on a budget? Well, that's my department normally, Michael.
Yeah, it's definitely your department.
So we have things called car boot sales in the UK sometimes when the weather's nice. So I can pick up some bargains there, but also charity shops and sometimes eBay are very good as well. Oh, and Facebook Marketplace.
And sometimes, if you're lucky, your model has outfits as well. So if you hire a model with a specific look that they are known for, then they might actually come with their own styling to a degree. You can never rely on that, but sometimes that can be really useful. So some of this is Charlotte's own stuff. Okay, right, Charlotte, do you want to try that again? So I've dropped the lantern a bit lower so it's not quite so high. I might need to put it a touch higher. But I wanted to put it lower because, once again, this is Halloween. This is light that's going to come from below. I wanted that low-feeling light because, well, it's Halloween. I'm going around in circles with that particular sentence, but you get the idea. So there's a few things I want to change on this photo. The lighting looks good on Charlotte. I don't mind that at all. But it's all gone very, very dark on this side. So let's add in a light onto the left side of the photo. So I'm going to need another flash for that. Ah, here we go. Perfect. So let's get a secondary flash. Okay, and I'm going to turn it on. I know, radical. Here we go. And this one is going to go high. It might end up out of the shot. It's just in, isn't it? That's pretty much as high. We've got about 8 feet of ceiling height in the small home studio here. And that's basically up at the 8-foot level. I'm going to come on the other side of Charlotte and look back towards the light. And what I'm looking for is the holes through the grid. So if I can come down here and see the holes, then the light will come down and reach that point where I'm looking. If I can't see the holes, then the grid is going to block the light and I need to reposition it. Handy when your light doesn't have a modelling lamp, which this one doesn't, because that is the Flashpoint Explore 200 Pro. No, it's the Evolve 200 Pro. Oh, look at those two muddle up every time. Okay, that is on a different group. That's on group B. Let's try 1/16th power, middle of the road. Here we go. Quick little test photo. Yeah, that works quite well. So you can see that's put some light onto the top of Charlotte's head, but it's done one other thing as well. I'm going to turn off the main light just so you can see what the second light is doing. Quick little test photo. Here we go, Charlotte. So you can see that this light is putting light on the back of Charlotte's head. It's putting light onto her hand and almost a little bit of light onto the lantern. I might be able to squeeze that in if I reposition the light a tiny bit. Let's bring that in a tiny bit.
So there's been a couple of comments about the white balance.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so have you altered the white balance?
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
I quite like it, though.
So Gavin said the white balance was wrong.
It is wrong. No, it's right. It's hang on, I'm going to take that one first. If it's what you want,
yeah,
it's right.
And then Tattoo Dave said, would you change your white balance to a slightly colder tone to get a more sinister look?
Oh, even colder. Okay, well, let's have a little look. So,
and then on another note, Joe said needs a blue gel moon backlight.
There you see. Thank you. I mean, this is what I love about the Adorama Lives. There you are. All of those answers are correct. Every single one of those answers is spot on. The white balance is wrong, the white balance isn't blue enough, and the white balance should be much bluer like moonlight. They are all the right answer if that's what you want.
Also got a question for Charlotte.
What? You want that? Go on.
So, Charlotte, this is Fernando. I just checked her IG. Did you make the makeup in those photos? They're amazing.
Thank you very much. I did. I do all the makeup myself.
There you go.
She's amazing.
And short answers as well. Well done. That's good. Yes, fantastic makeup artist. We've worked with Charlotte as a makeup artist as well as a model. So, yeah, multi-talented. Okay, where were we? I've forgotten where we were. The backlight is what we were looking at. So let me just see what that backlight is now doing. Hold on. There we go. So I've moved the backlight a little bit, so I've got a bit more light coming through. Still light on the top of Charlotte's head, a little bit light on the top of the lantern. Yeah, I think I'm happier with that. Let's turn the lantern on. And for those that are wondering, my white balance is now set to 5600K, no effects turned on. It is just, oh, it is still got the effects turned on. Can we edit that out? We can edit that out, can't we? Yeah, we can edit that.
Sure, no one
we'll take that out in the edit.
No one will notice.
Yeah, that's the correct white balance. There you go. Okay, so you take your pick with the white balance, whatever you like. And of course, being raw, I can always change the white balance in post, and I'll guarantee you I would. So that's not too bad. I like that. The thing I'm not so keen on is just at the bottom here, where there's a fairly obvious light stand coming through. So I can Photoshop that out. It's not a hard Photoshop job. But because we're not really doing Photoshop at all during this live session, let's cheat. Well, it's not cheating. Let's just kind of cover it up. So we've got some fabric. This is great. I don't know where we got this fabric from. Sam got it, I think.
That was like the pound shop.
Was it?
Yeah.
But it's great. We needed this. We did a sharp shadow thing the other week that came out on Adorama TV, and this fabric would have been perfect for that. Slightly annoyed we didn't find it for that. I'm going to pop that around the base. So for no apparent reason whatsoever, there is a sort of textured base to this. I can either clone it out. It's going to be much easier. There's nothing shiny there anymore. Or maybe it's part of the story. Who knows? Whilst I'm doing that, I'm also going to turn on something over here because it's going to take a minute or two to warm up.
While you're doing that, I'll just say set up 458 watching, only 200 likes. Just saying,
What?
help Gavin out. Yeah.
It would help enormously. Just hit the like button.
Hit the like.
Put a
we might be
comment
able to
in.
get the smoke machine working.
Yeah, that's it. If we don't hit 200, we're not putting the smoke machine on. What number are we on now? Does anyone know? Let's take a test photo whilst they're looking that up.
No, we don't know.
We don't know. Great. Okay, so that just puts something down the bottom that isn't the sort of metalwork. Frey, can I just flip over to my laptop? There you go. Bless, she's doing multitasking there. And I kind of like that. It's part of the picture. We're going to disguise it all anyway in a second. I could gel that light. I haven't got a gel for that one, but that's something you could do. You could gel that light. Oh, there's so many things you could do. I could gel the backlight. Could have a bit more blue on that. Could do that. It's not part of the plan, this, but...
Better get the smoke machine going. There's not a fire machine. That would be quite scary, wouldn't it?
Don't give me ideas. I like the thought of that. Is it like they have at those sports stadiums where they have the big flames coming up? That would be good. Fire on demand. Okay, so that is on B. I put a gel on. It takes away about a stop of light. Let's leave it and see if it needs adjusting. Okay, Charlotte, here we go. Yeah, I think that's actually quite good. Okay, that's just put a little bit of blue. See, there's a bit of blue now on top of the hood, which has picked up the blue. We've got a bit of blue here on the metalwork as well. And if I change my white balance, I could fiddle around with that, but we don't have the luxury of time on that one, and we've got one more to get through. And we need, oh, perfect timing, we need some of this. Hang on. Yeah. Oh. The day they make a wireless one of these that really works, I'm all over it. Okay, a smoke machine. So this is the Chauvet DJ Hurricane 1200. It is my go-to smoke machine. Brace yourselves, here we go. That's what I'm going to put Charlotte through. That's kind of, sorry Charlotte, this is fun. So a bit of smoke etiquette. First things first, if you're going to use some smoke in your studio, make sure that everybody in the studio doesn't have any problems with smoke in the studio. You don't have any problems, do you? And the rest of my family, so that doesn't count, that's fine. Next. I may live to regret that later, now I said that out loud. Next is the type of smoke. I'm using fast dissipating or CO2 effect smoke. And that is great because I can fire it, fill the room up with smoke, but it disappears very quickly indeed, which means I can change the effect. It doesn't hang in the air. The thick stuff that I often use outside, that little blast would take 20 minutes to dissipate in here. So that's the kind of stuff we're using. And you need a dark background. If you don't have a dark background, you don't see smoke. White smoke, white background, doesn't work. Okay, let's bring some smoke in. You ready, Charlotte? Here we go. I'm literally going to aim this at you, just so you know. Okay, a little bit of smoke, a little bit of atmospherics.
A question, but it's actually for Frey.
Far away.
So Joe asked, when's the next Daddy and Daughter live game day? So Is it next week?
I think it's next week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
next
Frey
week.
is on Adorama XP on Twitch, and she does a gaming session every Thursday evening at, well, it's 9 p.m. UK time, which is 4 in the US, well, parts of the US. So next Thursday, Joe.
There you go. Okay, yeah, looking forward to that. I've got an idea what we're going to do, but I'll tell Frey about that later. Okay, so a bit more smoke, because that worked quite well. As you can see, that smoke looks really good. Smoke has a natural blue colour, so it already feels more blue. Sorry, Charlotte. I was going to say I'm going to put some smoke in the scene, but I've already done it, so should have warned you first. Because it changes so quickly, all I need to do is just keep taking photos, and every single time they're going to be a slightly different experience with the smoke.
A couple of questions regarding the smoke.
Yeah, I'm going to keep taking photos. You shout the questions out.
So Midso Photography said, does the smoke leave any residue on surfaces?
Okay, brilliant question. No, it doesn't. This is water-based, glycerin-based stuff rather than oil-based smoke. Oil-based smoke, never seen it, but apparently that does leave a residue. This stuff doesn't. And we should know because we've used it for absolutely years.
Yeah, and another one which is from Marsha. Do you pre-focus when using the fog?
No. Easy answer. No, I rely exclusively on my OM system, OM1's ability to do eye detect, and it is focusing through the fog really well. Okay, eyes to me, Charlotte. Great stuff. Almost run out of background. I wish I'd moved it slightly to the left, but that's great. Just backing myself up a little bit. There's actually quite a lot of smoke in the room still, so I can leave that as it is. Okay, great. Again, chin down, eyes up. There you go. Fantastic. There is quite a bit of smoke in the room, actually.
So what brand of fog are you using, Joe asked?
Okay, so brand of fog will vary depending on which part of the world you're in. In the UK, weirdly, I use a company called American DJ. I don't think you can get it in the States, ironically. But I use American DJ, which is available in the UK. Have a look at Adorama's website. There are loads and loads of fog juices on there. Choose which one is relevant for you in your country. Okay, whew, that was fun. So that worked really nicely. Just jump over to my laptop, Frey, who's on Frey, isn't it? Laptop duty. So that works very nicely. I've got lovely detail coming through. We've got the smoke coming in here. A little bit of clarity in post-processing will really lift that smoke up. I moved around because it's very easy just to get dead feet, not to move your feet around. Stay here. I could have stayed here for the entire session. But as you move around, so you get different effects. That's pretty good, though. That looks good. Check. Oh, that's a relief. It's in focus on the eyes. Yeah, that's lovely. And if I wanted to lose the lower half down here, I could do that pretty easily. Smart. Yeah, happy with that. Okay, good. Okay, how are we doing? We have 20 minutes to go. We have, 18 minutes to go. We're doing all right. We are on time. So we've got one more setup to go. So I'm just going to move the lights around, not the lights, the cameras around a little bit. So bear with me one moment. Do you want to just change to a different camera so nobody gets a little bit kind of lost and a bit queasy as I move this about? Lovely. And there we go. Thank you very much. And then this one. Fantastic. Okay. So we're over in the other corner of my studio. So we've worked in that side where we had the dark backgrounds and the Manfrotto sage background that we had earlier. And then we got this, which we've kind of hidden. So this, let's unveil it. Underneath here is a little area that we've created that has, I'm not quite sure which camera. What about the close camera? Will that give us anything? There we go. A little sort of work area for a mystic fortune teller. So Charlotte's going to be a mystical fortune teller. She's going to come sit down. I can't see myself anymore. I don't know if I'm in the shot anymore. I am, okay. We've got a few props for her to play with. which are kind of fun. And I've got some bits I need as well. So we're going to set the lighting up one light at a time. I think there's going to be 3 lights for this setup. It may be 2. We'll see how it goes. And I'm pretty sure at the end of this, we'll add some smoke just to finish it off. I'm good. Thank you very much. So let's start with the light modifier. Which camera am I? I'm on this one? This one. This is like it's lovely, isn't it? So this is a magnum reflector, or at least a version of a magnum reflector. This is going to be my main light for this setup. It's a hard light, but it's a broad light, so it's not a small reflector. I've no idea how big it is. It's probably about 12 inches, 18 inches, something like that. So it's a good size for what we need it to do. It does a good job of really maximizing the light output. Now, to make it work, I need to work out which of my lights I'm going to use. I'm going to use this one. Here we go. So if you saw last month's live, we did boom arms, or grip arms. So that's what I'm going to use here. I'm going to use a boom or a grip arm to try and get my light where I want it to be, but without having to clone it out of the shot. Okay, so let's pop that onto there, pop that onto there, make sure that that's all round to the left. Don't want to get that wrong. Seth will let you know. Seth double checks everybody's photos. Seth is there making sure that you use your light stand, your C-stand correctly. He will tell you if you get it wrong, which is good news. That's what you want. Okay, let's pop that on top of there. And we'll take that off there, we don't need that. So as you can see, I'm setting all of this up, but Charlotte's not in the scene yet, and that's kind of a safety thing because I don't want to drop anything on Charlotte, and if I do, I want to make sure that she's well out of the scene because things happen. Let's get this around here. And I'd love to say that bigger studios would mean sort of more room and more places to stick things, but the reality is, no, that's not how it works. Small studios are just as challenging as larger studios in my experience. Okay, let's pop that there. Let's turn it on. Okay. So you're not going to be able to see too much of what's going on. I don't think any of the cameras, even the top camera, is going to help. No, yeah, that's okay. It's sort of hidden.
It's mysterious was in the title, wasn't it? So
go for the, there we go. It's sort of hidden underneath there. It's pointing straight over the table, directly above it, pointing straight down onto the table. I'm going to check everything is locked off. I'm going to put the sandbag over the top of it just to be on the safe side. So that is the Evolve 200 Pro. It's not a heavy light, but nonetheless, I've sandbagged the C-stand just in case. Right, Charlotte, ready? Come on in. Charlotte is going to go around the back, and round the back we have the least comfortable box that we could find for you to sit on. It's the right height. It's perhaps not the most comfortable of positions, so here we go. Marvellous. It works. Let's move this camera around a little bit. Hang on a second. Here we go. How's that? Better? I think, yeah, you can see Charlotte okay there. That's pretty good. So Charlotte is in there. I was getting a Paul Daniels vibe. Anyone else getting a Paul Daniels vibe? It's a certain age and a UK thing, but it's just so kind of weird. Okay, that's good. So Charlotte's going to be a fortune teller. That was the idea with this. Let's get some light and a meter reading in here. Anyone seen my flash meter? Big red thing hanging. Oh, there it is. Got it. I could trial and error this. I'm going to do a flash meter reading just to give me a little bit of accuracy. I reckon Charlotte will be about here somewhere. F18, that's a little bit on the bright side. F11, F8, 7.1, close enough, that'll do. I'll take that. Okay, Charlotte. Let's just come down here and we'll just do a quick little test photo just to see how the one light looks. Now this is going to be a multiple light setup, but nonetheless, I'm going to do one light at a time. That looks a lot darker than I was expecting. It's about right on the table. It's a little bit darker on Charlotte than maybe I'd like. We'll see how it goes. Charlotte, can you just lean in a little bit for me? Don't fall off the chair. Okay. Pretty good. I'm going to take that up slightly. Okay. Which is going to make my table a little bit brighter than I'd like, but that's okay. We're going to put some more light into Charlotte's eyes in a second, but that feels pretty good. Nice balance. I like what it's doing with the fabric. I'm going to shoot a slightly wider one just so we can see that. I like the kind of the effect that it's giving on the fabric. It feels right. I mean, you literally could stop there. I probably could stop there. I'm not going to, but I probably could. Okay, that's not bad. Let's see, we can add in some extra light. The next light I'm going to add in is a light behind Charlotte. So what have I got left on my lights? I've got 2 more to use. Let's go with this one. So this is the Flashpoint Evolve 200, the non-pro version. This is the standard version. The difference between the two, this one doesn't go quite as low in power. And that doesn't particularly matter because it's not going to be a low-powered light. It's going to be a special light. This light needs a special modifier. What I need this light to do is I need it to light the background behind Charlotte, but not really a straight light, not a direct light, not a fixed light. I want it to be a sort of dappled, mottled effect. What am I going to use to create a dappled, mottled lighting? Actually, what am I going to use because I can't see it? It's over there. No, it's over here. Anybody that's been watching the live streams before will know this is the tool of choice. Yes, it is the one, the only, patented, probably, but not by me. This is the light strainer. Light strainer is a wonderful thing. Since we last used it, my emails have been absolutely flooded. Loads and loads of people emailing me. No one asked me about this though. Very disappointing. The light strainer, it is, yeah, it is a cutlery strainer that, as you would find in your kitchen, but it's black and it's got holes in it. The light strainer, exclusively available in your kitchen. So I'm going to pop that in behind Charlotte. Something like that. There we go. Okay. And I've really bigged that up. I hope it works. Okay. I'm going to put it, I don't know, let's go 1/16 power when in doubt. I'll turn off the main light just so we can see what the background light is doing. One light at a time. Break it down. Here we go. I'll turn the main light off because I pressed the wrong button. No, don't show them that one, Frey. Take it off. I've got a sneaky feeling I didn't turn it on.
No, that would be a first.
No, it's on.
Not
It's on.
the light
It's
on.
definitely on.
Wow.
Somehow, though, I managed to change the channel. So it's on, but it's on a completely different channel than I'm working on. Here we go. I've never done that before. That's a first.
Yeah,
Stay.
someone said, coming soon, the Gavin Hoey light strainer, signature series modifier. It was Fernando's suggestion. Fernando knows.
Fernando, we could make a fortune with this.
Yeah.
This
we'll
is
cut
it.
you in. We'll cut you in, Fernando.
Here we go. Let's try that again. Now, I definitely have that on the right channel. It's definitely not firing. I mean, I'm going to blame Charlotte because, you know, what's going on? Why is that not firing?
Is it on the right channel?
It is on the right channel. It's on the wrong group, though.
That's my next question.
Rookie error, wrong group.
It is... Hey, there we go. So, what am I talking about? What went wrong? On the back of this camera, on the back of this light, rather, there we go. There are channels and there are groups. So for some bizarre reason, it decided to set itself to a completely different channel. And then when I put it back to the right channel, it changed its group. Because, and why did that happen? It's because we are live. There we go. And that's what happens when you do things in the real world. Okay, that worked, didn't it? Okay, here we go. Quick test photo. Oh, wow. Get there in the end. Let's have a little look. So that background light is throwing light in a kind of random pattern. It's a little bit blotchy. If it was a reflector, it would all go up in a straight line and it would be a different feel. So that is doing exactly what I want it to do. Power-wise, we'll see. We'll see on that one. Let's add in the main light, see how we're doing with the two lights together. Here we go. So the main light and the backlight look like that. Yeah, we're getting there. That's pretty good. I've got one more light to use. I've got 5 minutes. I can do this in 5. I can do it. Now, what light should we do? Let's use this one. Let's bring this in so you can see what I'm doing. So this is the Explore 300. We're going to use that light, but we're not going to use the 20-inch riser. We'll get rid of that because I want this light to be a low light. What we've done throughout this is produce light that's coming from a lower angle than we would normally, and this last setup is no different. So to get my light as low as possible, I'm going to use this little, I think it's a baby pin adapter or an adapter of some sort. I put it in the description. It's in the video description. If you want to know what that is, you'll find a link to Adorama where you can get one of those, and that sits in there like that, and then I can put the flash right down on the floor like that, so we get a low level flash coming in just like that. But I don't want to do this sort of flash because this is just going to throw light everywhere. I want to have a bit more control and direction for the light. So the last piece of this particular puzzle is this, the snoot. The snoot is a very directional modifier. It literally pushes light in one direction, stops it going in every other direction. And the reason I'm using the Explore as my light of choice for this is because this is the only one of the ones I'm using today that has a modelling lamp. And I can actually aim this up towards Charlotte's face, like that. It's not an exact science. Modelling lamps never are. They are definitely just a guide. But that just gives me a bit of a guide of where that light is going to go.
So Phil said it's called a spigot.
Is it?
Yes.
Thank you, Phil.
Apparently. I think that's a cool name. I like a spigot.
A spigot, yes. That sounds really mechanical, doesn't it? Sounds like a really kind of important mechanical thing. Sorry, Charlotte, I'll just blind you with that continuous modelling lamp. There we go. Okay, so what power should that be on? Well, it should be on something. Let's turn the other two off. Turn that one on because multiple lights do one at a time. I reckon it needs to be, well, let's try 1/16th power. When in doubt, start in the middle. 1/16th power is not doing anything at all. That is literally not doing anything at all. Let's see. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. 1/16th power is doing this. Okay, so just a little bit of light. That might be just enough, to be honest. It doesn't need much. It is just putting a hint of light. Let's have a little look. Just a tiny bit of light into Charlotte's eyes. On its own, it looks terrible, and that's fine because it's one of 3 lights. Let's turn the other lights on. Okay, and see how they all look together. Here we go. And all together, that looks pretty good. I like that. So I even like the shadow behind, which is kind of very moody and atmospheric. Okay, let's take a few shots like this, and then we'll finish off with some smoke, of course. I think it's a given, isn't it? Here we go, Charlotte. Great stuff. Love this. Got to remember to go vertical, and I always forget to go vertical. But nowadays, you can't forget to go vertical. You have to go vertical every now and again if you're on social media, because that's what it likes. Okay, smoke. Yeah, let's do some smoke. We've got, 2 minutes, no, 1 minute, 1 minute to go. If you've got any questions, this is your final chance to get them in. Charlotte, I'm going to put some smoke in the room.
Darren asked, do you ever use continuous LED lights?
Yes, Darren, I'm working with some continuous LEDs at the moment, experimenting, playing with them. Watch this space, is what I'm going to say. Okay, this is great. So a bit of smoke. Well, smoke makes everything better, doesn't
Chaz
it?
said there's a highlight on the crystal ball.
There is a highlight, and you're never going to get rid of that, Chaz. Not in the real world, because it is an arc. It is a 360-degree light collector. It doesn't matter where you put the light, unless it's directly below it, you're always going to get a highlight on it. You either live with it, or you Photoshop it. Okay. Fantastic. These are so moody, love it. So white balance, we were talking about white balance earlier. This is the same white balance as I started with. In other words, the correct 5600K white balance. Nothing changed. No extra white balance in here at all. Last few pictures, last chance for any questions.
Yeah, so Petra said, could Charlotte please look into her crystal ball and see this weekend's lottery numbers, please? Asking for a friend. We're very good friends, aren't we, Petra? So that's good.
Yeah, trust me, if she tells me those, I will be getting them first. And those white contact lenses, let's come in close, because I haven't really done any close-ups. That's my shoe, if anyone's can hear anything. Kind of, yeah. Going vertical, last couple of pictures, Charlotte, here we go.
So what's the smoke machine?
The smoke machine is a Chauvet DJ Hurricane 1200, available from Adorama, link in the video description below. Boom, there we go. Let's just have a quick review, see what we got. And it's awesome. In fact, it's so awesome, we've got 2 of them because they are just so reliable. Smashed it, fantastic. So yeah, Chaz, you're right. The little highlight there, I would definitely clone that out. But if you can imagine, even if you put the light from behind, you'd get a reflection because it's a translucent object. Light comes through and you see it on the last surface that the light leaves. So that's always going to be a thing. But I can live with that with a little bit of Photoshop. Really simple. Wow, okay, there we go. That was exciting. I really enjoyed that. I probably enjoyed that far too much, actually. I keep forgetting that we are live. So I'd like to first of all, thank Adorama for letting us do this. They're crazy. Absolutely love it. If you want to see more of these lives, we have one left this year. We're not having one in November for some reason that I can't remember now, but we are back in December. If you want to see them next year, tell Adorama, otherwise they won't know.
Please, and go and like everything.
Like everything.
Like everything.
Put a comment in. Always helps. So thank you very much to Adorama. Thank you very much for watching as well. The audience, obviously, kind of essential. I love the questions today. Superb. Thank you very much. Speaking of which, Sam on the questions over there, thank you very much indeed. Well done for doing that tonight. I know that was...
Thanks to everyone who joined in. It was great. Everyone's chatty and everyone's from all over the world. It's amazing.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Freya on the Super Switcher did another brilliant job. Well done. But mostly, we literally couldn't do it without Charlotte. So Charlotte underneath there she is. Fantastic. Okay, that brings us to the end of this live stream. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.